Hello, fellow Bleach and anime fans. It's SuperKamiGuru9000 here, and this is my review of Bleach Chapter 453. Woo! This week's chapter of Bleach was a torrent of crazy paranoia, of crazy happenings, and things that are frankly just kind of confusing, but still entertaining nonetheless. In this chapter, we pick up last week where Ichigo reluctantly ran into SuperKamiGuru, whom everybody seems quite smitten with, except for Ichigo. Ichigo wastes no time and he gets right up in SuperKamiGuru's grill and pins him against the wall. And if there's one thing I like about this chapter, if there's one thing I do like about Kubo and his art, I love the way he draws paranoid and insane eyes. They always look just completely ridiculous. Of course, while Ichigo has got him pinned up against the wall, his sisters are like, "Ichigo, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And SuperKamiGuru's giving the cool act, everything's fine, but Ichigo is still not convinced. And then all of a sudden, more guests arrive at the house, and it's Ichigo's old classmates. Like Ichigo's sisters, his old classmates are also apparently well known with SuperKamiGuru. They seem to think of him as basically another classmate friend. Of course, this just eggs Ichigo on even more, and he just gets more upset about this and starts screaming at the top of his lungs, at which Tatsuki, being the tough girl herself, jumps in and starts screaming right back at Ichigo, and then Ichigo realizes that his sisters and all his friends are just looking at him with those big old crazy Kubo eyes that I was just talking about, and this just freaks Ichigo out and he gets right the hell out of there. Ichigo's running down the street, and luckily he runs into his well-endowed boss, Ikumi-san, and this is where things start to maybe mellow out a little bit more in the chapter, but things aren't really going to go that well forever. When he gets there, she's trying to calm him down a little bit, but lo and behold, guess who shows up then again? SuperKamiGuru, who's there to pick Ichigo up. At this point, Ichigo knows that he can't really trust anyone and decides to bolt out of there again. Ichigo has all the right to be freaked out and paranoid right now. Everybody that he knows is, in a way, turning against him. It's kind of sad, but the chapter really comes to a big point at the end. While Ichigo is running away again, he runs into Ginjo, who lets him know that all the other members of Execution have been gotten to by SuperKamiGuru. And that's where our chapter comes to an end. And boy, is this really interesting. This is just ramping up right now. I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of mystery to this character, and SuperKamiGuru himself, maybe I'll get a lot of hate for this, but I think he's a more interesting villain than, say, Aizen at this point. But the other thing that's weird is this is affecting everybody in these weird, mental states. It's almost hard to know who to trust. I mean, even Ginjo at this point, all of this could be some sort of weird fantasy cooked up by SuperKamiGuru. It's very obvious that SuperKamiGuru is, well, strong in the dark side of the Force. Does that mean a Darth Vader mask? No, it was just your imagination. Overall, this was a really, really fun chapter to read. No, there was no action, but I like the way the story is going. There's a false sense of security with the characters that we're getting to know. I honestly, at this point, can't trust anyone other than Ichigo. And hopefully the story will ramp up a little bit more, and hopefully we'll get to see more of Ichigo's dad and Urahara and see what they're up to. Because we haven't seen them in a few chapters, and they were clearly up to something big. Maybe it has something to do with what's going on. Maybe not. Who knows? The only way to find out is to look forward to it next week. As far as a number score this week, I think I would have to give it a 7.5. Come on, Vader, don't speak for me. I want to say I'm going to give it a 7.5. Alright, fine! 7.5, you said it first! Ugh. SuperKamiGuru9000! Ow! Ugh. Damn straight.